everybody, welcome back once again to On the Couch with David and Travis.
And this was episode 12. She said, "Don't make others suffer for your own personal hatred." What do you think of that one? Title. I don't know if it's a great title. I get what it's supposed to be in reference to. It's supposed to be Masato.
Yeah, but they couldn't have done something a little more...
I don't think being short of hand is their primary goal.
No.
It's something that maybe sounded a little...
Yeah, it was a little more succinct.
It was one of those things where it's like...
Brevity is the wit of the soul.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like... It kind of sounds like you're trying to say something, but you really... It was sort of like, I wrote this down. They have that scene where Gendo and Fuyutsuki are just sort of like going back and forth, making broad, semi-philosophical statements. Yeah. And it's like, I get that you're trying to sound deep here, but it's really not working because you're just going back and forth with like, this is the sin of man, God is mankind's ignorance, technology. It's just like throwing all these things and you aren't really exploring them.
And it's like, it's not even something that in depth of like a new idea. Like, people have said before plenty of times, like, well, if you don't like something, that's going to be your downfall. Like, if you are so bent on destroying something else, it's going to destroy you. Like, that's been something we've heard over and over and over again.
Although that could kind of, you could maybe think maybe that's sort of what they're going for, is like, don't make others suffer for your personal hatred. Maybe they're trying to say, like, Masato's need to kill angels is going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if it reads for sure. I didn't think about it till you said that. But at least it connects one thing said in the episode to the title to sort of the theme.
Yeah.
So this is a big episode, or not a big episode, this is an episode that sort of really focused on Masato. She gets promoted, but there really wasn't a lot done with it. We got some backstory.
I felt like it was so... And this is what we might come to later, was talking about the stereotypes. It's such a stereotypical, like, anime, or even in Western society, story plot point, where it's like, well, my parents died protecting me from the angels, so now I hate them. Like,
yeah, it's not a great backstory.
No.
But I guess sort of the idea is just sort of, for me at least, to look at, okay, Masato has daddy issues. Daddy issues is sort of a big thing with this show.
Yeah.
Or parental issues. But it's not a... It's not a deep backstory. It's a little... I like how they colorized it, and they had a lot of blood in it, which made it sort of, like, impactful, I guess. Yeah. But the idea of the backstory is sort of very general.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Don't need to come back.
I guess they're also just trying to shed a little bit more light on the second impact, which is still very vague.
Yeah.
It's still sort of, oh, we know something bad happened, a lot of people died. Sato was part of it. But it's not giving us... it's not giving us that much with it.
No.
I think one of the things that it was sort of trying to go for, at least I wrote this down in the beginning but it didn't really pan out, was sort of, I guess, comparing how somebody like Shinji and somebody like Masato would compare in terms of how they handle praise or adoration of others. That's something they brought up, but they didn't really go into.
No. And I thought it was really weird how his dad all of a sudden was like, good work, Shinji. Like, out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. It felt kind of contrived for this episode, just to, like, be like, why are you doing it, Shinji? And then, like, his dad says something that he would never ever say, and then he's... Like, I would have felt like it would have been more impactful if his father didn't say it, and then he realized that he was doing it because he wanted his father to say it.
Yeah, I guess it's trying... I don't think it's trying to say that Shinji piloting the Eva for his father's praise is a good thing.
No.
I think it's trying to say that's a bad thing, so that's why I'm not as sort of, like, question to it. But we don't know enough about Gendo's character. We know pretty much nothing about him besides his sort of cliche existence right now.
Exactly.
It's hard to make any sort of judgment on that. Something I noticed that I'm getting kind of sick of is it feels like every other episode we have, oh, this is going to be a 0.0008 chance of success.
Even though we know
this is like the third time we've had like a infinitesimal chance of success.
Yeah, and we know... I mean... Really, until later on in the series, we know that it's going to work out for them, you know.
And, I mean, Shinji has a line where it's like, Masato always gambles, but she never wins. And it's like, well, no, she does these risky things, but as far as we've seen, it always works out.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
not a lot of impact.
No.
It's
a middling episode, I feel like.
There's nothing really to take from it, I don't think. It's entertaining. The design of the angel, again, is very cool. It's different. You never know what these things are going to look like, which is great. I think there were a few lines maybe like 3 or 4 that have like a little more context later on. Kind of the one you pointed out, but like that wasn't what I was thinking of. I did kind of. Oh no, that was last episode. I thought there were some good shots I wrote down. I sort of liked the sort of shot where it was like split into 3s, and it had Asuka, Shinji, and Rei sort of like sliding up around. I think that was a cool shot because again, it's sort of emphasizing how different they are. They have the different colors, between them, and they used color very well in this episode. I thought I had some decent shots too with the Ava's running. It sounds stupid,
that was cool.
But
no, it was cool.
Good animation.
It looked good. You could tell they spent a lot of time on it.
Money, probably.
Yeah, well, and money.
But it's just sort of like, I mean, this is one where it's like, okay, we're going to take a deeper look into this character, and I don't think it accomplishes.
No, I feel like there have been previous episodes about Misato that have been more enjoyable and more in depth than this one was.
And I think there are things established here that are sort of important, but it's sort of like, for backstory episodes, especially since everybody in the show is so mysterious, like, ooh, what's going on there?
Mm-hmm.
For it to be like, oh, her dad sacrificed himself for her, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I've just seen it before, especially in anime, like, and just like Japanese storytelling. It's a very popular trope.
Digimon episode.
Yeah, it's a very popular trope in that style of storytelling. So,
and I really don't have a lot to say about this. We're getting close to the threshold of the halfway point. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I feel like things are going to really start ramping up, which I'm excited for.
Now, how do you feel about what you've seen?
That's okay so far. I don't think it's bad at all.
It just makes me like, God, I wish I could watch this show starting at like episode 16 or something. But
everything about it is
it's
fine.
It's important to get through this, but it is kind of a slog. It is a little exhausting, I think.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm not super excited. Like, oh, I really want to know what happens to Rei. I really want to know what happens to Shinji. Like, I really like Misato was still my favorite character. I think she's the most interesting.
People's favorite character.
I don't know. There isn't a whole lot for me, like, being like, oh, I can't wait till next Monday when we film this. But it's not like...
No, but
it's not like, oh, like, I have to film this again. I have to go watch the show again. Like, but it's neither exciting nor just, like, dissuading.
It's weird for me because I'm excited to do it just because I want to advance. Mm-hmm. But it is a little bit more like, I feel like I'm checking the time more with these than I was with Avatar.
Yeah.
And it might be because... No, I think that's just because Avatar is more consistent in that
I think so.
aspect.
Yeah, I think
so, I mean, halfway it's just sort of that phase. That phase.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna get better.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong.
Hopefully.
Okay, we'll check out episode 13.